So I'm here with Adeline-Ausy Setiawan, who's the Country Media Director at Unilever, Indonesia. Thank you for joining us today at Social Media Matters. So why don't we kick off by just finding a little bit more about what's happening in the social media scene in Indonesia.
Okay, I think Indonesia is a large country, with huge population, around 230 million people, and by nature I think we are social by design country. Yeah, it's very much embedded in our culture that being social, meaning that collective, with the community. So that's make it easier probably for social media platform to penetrate, because it's part of it's the culture insight and culture needs of Indonesian people. Yeah, so if you think that Facebook now they have 67 million users in Indonesia, and it's still growing. And Jakarta also is like it says that the capital city of Twitter, and there are many coming up like Path, Instagram, and all. So you name it, all the social media players working very well in Indonesia, because it fits with the culture by itself.
Okay, it's interesting to hear that there are a lot of the kind of typically Western platforms that are doing well in Indonesia. Are there any local nuances in terms of the different types of platforms or the way they're being used or anything like that?
Not that, there are some local, but not to the level of success, of these global players.
Right.
I guess, it doesn't matter, where it comes from, but as long as, they understand, what it needs, so they can take off very well. Yeah. Again, in Indonesia, we have this culture that we cannot stand off. Sorry, we cannot stand up. But we want to stand up. Yeah, because the culture doesn't allow us to to stand up from and then being singled out from the rest. But in digital platform, there's a chance for people to really stand up, physically stand up. So I guess that's what make it work. That in social, in your status, you can say many things that you will not be able to say it, in real world.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess that's the reason why they really embrace the social media, because it allows them to be who they are. Without being judged.
Okay, that's interesting. So how is Unilever in Indonesia kind of taking advantage of that?
Yeah, we have to. There's no way that we cannot. Meaning that we have to be always where consumer are, and if the consumer are in social, we have to be there. By offering something to inspire them, even to make their social activity more meaningful or more inspiring. So in Unilever we have a process. We have this integrated brand communication. Or we call it now brand experience toolkit, where actually we get what is actually the insight, what is the brand role for the people here, and how we can make a compelling content actually to address what actually they aspire. So then we have to be in social, because we want to have a brand relationship with them.
Could you maybe give us an example of one of the campaigns that you may have done recently?
There are many, but maybe I can share a few. Again, social is a human needs. And then what brand can offer actually. What is it? The story that we want to sell that the consumer will embrace. So one of the example actually, when we relaunched Magnum ice cream, back in 2010, I think, and then so it's not like only we relaunch and put the TV commercial. It's just the old marketing. Now it cannot be like that. We have to also offer experience. So we created this Magnum Cafe, where actually people will come in and really have brand experience, eating Magnum there. So for that, to make it more successful, we also put social media behind it. So we make this Magnum Cafe thingy becoming the talk of the town, becoming like people are very curious to come in, and then when they come in they can post their status, I'm in Magnum Cafe now. So things like that, that make it more viral.
Okay.
Yeah, another example actually, the social movement that we created, in the time of SEA Games back in 2011, where Indonesia was the host country, and at that time, we were so much in, negative, news, yeah, because we don't know a lot of corruption, scandal of the SEA Games thing, So the country needed a miracle, yeah, and we work out with media partners, digital partner, conventional and digital, yeah, to make that miracle happen. What is it that we can do for the country, for the public, to bring up the confidence level. Yeah, so we created this movement, Ayo Indonesia Bisa. It's Indonesia You Can, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we ask support from the public, to support that Indonesia can be the great host of the SEA Games, and also for the athlete to be more confident in winning the games. And we did it successfully. We finally won, in SEA Games 26.
Okay. For campaigns like that, how does Unilever measure the success of those campaigns?
One, I think, one is, we need to be the talk of the country. Yeah, measuring that, of course by numbers. Yeah.
Right.
But beyond numbers of how many members you have, how many increase, beyond that, we also work with the research partner like Millward Brown and all. Yeah, we measure actually what does this impact to our brand attributes.
Right.
Yeah, so that means what is the brand attribute that we want to increase? Yeah, is it something like for example, for Clear shampoo that that funded the Ayo Indonesia Bisa campaign? Was it something like more relevant to the younger audience now, or even up to the purchase intention?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something that we are measuring.
Okay. That's a very sophisticated process. Okay, my last question is, what do you think? What's the importance of local content versus global content? I mean, with Indonesia, it has to speak to the people. It has to really resonate and engage with the people, right? So when you have Unilever global headquarters saying this is our next campaign, how do you balance that?
Yeah, that's always the beauty of it. Yeah, having with the global campaign, to be able to work out well in Indonesia. For example, actually, Magnum Cafe, what the principal idea actually coming from, the global. Yeah, but the one that actually was able to make it happen the Indonesian way is the Indonesian local people. Yeah, I mean the brand team here in Indonesia. Yeah, so there's a balancing needed. I guess what is important is that if we agree on the brand framework, yeah, so the brand personality has to stay the same. What we want to offer to consumer has to stay the same, but the what is it or how is it we're doing it has to be embed and then relevant to the local culture, because otherwise you're just putting salt in the water, the seawater, or like forcing something that is not going to happen. Yeah, so there should be something that actually we need to understand what is it that need for the local to embrace this campaign, and for that you need to have research, you need to have insights.
Yeah.
That's something that probably local brand team know the best.
Okay, great. So before we finish up, is there anything else you wanted to add?
I guess just it's amazing actually how this marketing and media has transformed in the past 5-10 years probably, if not. Yeah. And I guess for us marketing, we need to be smarter than ever. Yeah, to utilize what is the available platform. Yeah, and then don't just go with the flow, just pick everything. You need to be true also with the what is it what your brand wants to offer. So for that, I guess the co-creation also is needed. Co-creation with the media partner, digital partners, to be able to come up with something more authentic but bigger. I guess that's probably what I have learned in the past 3 years.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today.